Preview review of The Phantom Limb by Ghazal M. Zahir. For the crime novel project, I read the book The Phantom Limb by William Slater and Anne Montcalm. It was published on October 1st, 2011 by Amulet Books. I read this ebook on my phone and laptop through the school's Mac and VA library. When looking for a crime novel, I didn't want to read a book that felt trivial of my time or one that everyone would be reading. With these characteristics in mind, I went on a search through social media and websites. However, this pursuit had to end because it came to no avail. And so, I once again started my search, but this time on Mac and Via. Through the search, I found an interesting cover that fits into the categories needed for me and the project. That book was The Phantom Limb. While I preferred a physical book, it was not available in the school library, so I read it in the ebook format. While starting to read this book, I realized that it was almost perfect because it did not have too much text packed into the page, and that it was a fiction book that had an enticing pace and storyline. This book follows a boy named Isaac. Isaac feels like his whole life is turning upside down. Recently, his father, the scientist, passed away in a plane crash in Africa. Soon after his death, Isaac's family had to move to another home because they could not afford their old home at the time. Right about this time, Isaac's mother, Vera, became very stressed and started to have seizures. Due to this, they had to move out once again because it was closer to the hospital that would best treat her random illness. On top of this, he had to live with his grandfather, who had become less and less of himself for some time. This caused him to blow up on his grandfather, causing him to further distance himself from Isaac. With all this stress and the new environment, Isaac also had to deal with going to a new school where he gets bullied. In his new school, Isaac finds a photo of a little boy who was an amputee but also a mysterious mirror box. As a person who loves optical illusions, Isaac is very intrigued about this box. While learning about this mysterious box, Isaac visits Vera for the first time in months and finds that Vera has become sicker in the hospital. Not only that, but the staff was acting weird. Isaac would see that Vera was always sleeping because of her medicine. What's up with this strange box? What's up with Vera? Why isn't she getting better? Why was this boy missing an arm? If you're interested in a simple but entertaining book and enjoy an imaginative roller coaster of a story, this book is for you. This can be described as a simple read but an ending that is nowhere near predictable. If you enjoy books similar to TV shows and films, then this is the book for you, because it portrays scenes that will remind you of watching TV. While The Phantom Limb is a great read, especially if you're looking for a crime novel, it is not a good book for personal reading. The Phantom Limb was a short book, but the story felt prolonged and not as captivating, and overall the pacing of the book lacked, often causing a lack of interest. One thing the book did tremendously was create an unpredictable ending whilst also giving the reader obvious connections. Another thing that I enjoyed was the scenes in between chapters that gave insight into the mind of the perpetrator but did not reveal who they are or how the scenes correlated to the story in the end. This book is catered to a child audience, and because of this, I didn't like the format of the book, and with the pace, it felt a little frustrating to keep reading. However, knowing this is a children's book, it does meet my expectations, and because of this, I would not like to read another book like this unless it was directed towards a more matured audience. And that is my review of The Phantom Limb. Thank you.